Hi, today I want to talk to you why silver matters more now than it ever has. For centuries, silver has just carried the nickname that it's the poor man's gold, but that title doesn't do justice for what silver represents in today's economy or in your wealth building strategy. Gold may store wealth, but silver fuels the modern world. Its unmatched electrical and thermal conductivity makes it indispensable to technologies that define our century. Solar panels, electric vehicles, smartphones, semiconductors, 5G infrastructure, and even more medical devices. Nearly 60% of the gold of the world's global silver demand is industrial, and for many of these applications, there simply is no other substitute. This isn't about speculation, it's about survival. Humanity is now consuming more silver than we ever have, and more silver than we mine, and that is a structural imbalance that is widening. The growing silver deficit. So let's talk about that. Between 2016 and 2020, the silver market enjoyed modest surpluses. But in 2021, the story changed. Global demand surpassed mine production by 75 million ounces. That shortfall ballooned to 184 million ounces in 2023. It grew to 149 million ounces in 2024, and it is projected to be 118 million ounces in 2025. So cumulatively, since 2021, the world has drained nearly 800 million ounces of above ground inventory, roughly 10 months of mine production. So to put that in perspective, we're burning through our savings account, quote unquote, of silver, and the account balance is running low. What's driving this deficit, you ask? Well, solar energy. Every panel requires 20 grams of silver. Solar manufacturing consumed 197.6 million ounces of silver in 2024. With demand projected to grow 8 to 10% annually through 2030, that's big numbers. Electric vehicles. Each EV uses about 25 to 50 grams of silver. That's about double of what a gas-powered vehicle used. Automotive demand is expected to reach 90 million ounces of consumption in 2025. Smartphones, laptops, and 5G stations collectively consume 30 million ounces per year. Medical and new technologies for water filtration, wearable devices, and printed electronics are new and growing markets. The investment markets, so coins, bars, and EFTs average about 200 to 250 million ounces annually between 2020 and 2023. And central banks are buying a lot of silver as well. For example, Russia in 2024 spent nearly $800 million in buying silver. So this isn't a blip, it's a structural shift. The world's silver needs are accelerating faster than its ability to produce it. So why can't silver keep up? Unlike gold, most silver isn't mined directly. About 70% of the global silver is simply a byproduct of mining copper, lead, and zinc. So that means even if silver prices soar, output doesn't automatically rise. Adding to these constraints, the declining ore grades. Miners must dig deeper and process more rocks, raising costs. The ore is about 25% less efficient now than it was nearly a decade ago. And long lead times. New mines take about 7 to 10 years to develop. Regulatory hurdles, environmental reviews, political and local opposition are slowing down approvals. Recycling limits. Secondary supply only covers 20% of our annual demand. So as a result, mine production stagnates at around 835 million ounces per year, projected to peak in 2026 before sliding backwards. Inventories on exchanges like COMEX have dropped 70% since 2020, while industrial stockpiles now cover barely 1 month of consumption. The buffer is going away. Even when silver is produced, costs are climbing. All-in sustaining costs rose from $10 to $12 per ounce 5 years ago and is now $15 to $18 in 2023. With higher energy prices, labor costs, and declining ore quality, many mines struggle to remain profitable even at today's $40 range. That creates a natural price floor. Silver can't sustainably fall much lower without shutting down supply. But with demand rising, pressure is almost entirely upwards. So what does that mean? Investors often dismiss silver rallies as speculative, but today's moves are not necessarily speculative. They're likely more necessity. Tech companies must have silver to keep production lines running. The shortages will bite manufacturers, and as a result, they will outbid investors to secure metal at any price. This makes silver uniquely important, a dual-purpose asset, both an industrial necessity and a monetary metal. Crisis prevention. Historical outperformance happens on gold during certain economic shocks. Silver swings are 2 to 3 times greater than gold's, often higher upsides. With a gold to silver ratio around 90 right now, silver remains far more affordable per ounce. So could silver really reach $500 an ounce, as some people think? At today's $40 an ounce range, $500 seems outrageous. But imagine this. Industrial demand doubles with renewable energy and EV adoption. Mine output stagnates as older mines decline and few new ones open up. Above ground inventories are drained to critical levels. Tech giants enter bidding wars for supply. Under such constraints, silver could behave like a rare earth metal during past shortages, skyrocketing in price not because of hype, but because the world can't function without it. Even if silver never reaches $500 an ounce, fundamentals point to much higher prices than they are currently. So the final word. You can't go without silver in this world. Silver market is undergoing a historic transition. For decades, it was abundant and it was overlooked. But today, structural deficits are shaping. Demand is surging and stagnant supply have created a squeeze with no quick fix. Silver isn't moving on speculation, it's moving because the world is running out of it. And that gives Canadian investors a rare opportunity to position themselves before the broader market catches on. Most people have no idea what's coming, but you do. The Canadian Wealth Builder philosophy is simple. Anticipate trends, protect your wealth, and put yourself in the path of opportunity. Silver may just be the most underestimated wealth building tool for the next decade.